So first it was S Express, theme from S Express, followed by that, The Killers and A Dustland Fairy Tale. Killers were on the bill at one of our Six Music gigs, and I think, was it 2004? British Sea Power. The Killers and a little-known band called Snowfield, who grew up to be the fantastic Editors, and Tom Smith from Editors is on the line. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Do you remember that gig? When was that?
I do,
was
yeah.
It 2000?
I'm surprised you do, yeah. I remember you introduced us and we were kind of terrified, actually, at that, but yeah.
But you were at that point, it's strange in a way, because some of the things you were doing then almost came back into play on the last Editors record in a way, some of the atmospheric things you were doing when you were Snowfield.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those songs were on the first record, and then, I don't know, there was a point after that show in that period of time we kind of injected a bit more energy into it, and that became the back room, and then, I don't know, the kind of grander, more atmospheric things, like you said, did come back into play slightly with the last record, so we were the same band, just a different name.
Yeah. And so I was thinking the other day, where are Editors, which is why we wanted to get you on the phone just to find out where you were up to. I heard a rumour you'd been in a studio at least doing some demoing, is that true?
Yeah, we've done a load of demoing, and that's kind of what we're going to do beginning of next year as well, some more of that. With the last record, once we finished touring the back room, the first 10.5 songs that I wrote, we went straight into the studio and straight into like that producer-artist environment. And with this one, we just want to have a bigger body of work, demo songs on our own before we take that step. So at the moment we've got about 18 songs written, and we're going to keep writing, and I think February next year we'll have this big batch of demos and songs, and then we can really pick the record and the producer then.
And did you have much time away from each other as a band?
We do. I mean, two of the band live in New York now, and Ed lives in Birmingham, I live in London, so when we're not on tour or rehearsing or recording, you don't really hang out anymore.
The reason I ask is, does that mean when you do reassemble, people are coming back in? If you're a gang, you're subjected to a similar sort of outside influence, give or take what you may have surfed the net and found, in terms of music the previous night. But if you're coming back in from, literally different places around the world with different ideas, does that add, new ideas into the melting pot?
Definitely. I mean, I think it's about, keeping making music and keeping it fresh is about being stimulated in different ways, isn't it? Being where you're living or who you're with or what's going on in your life. And if we were just still living in Birmingham like we were before the back room came out, I think it'd be a lot harder to get motivated and to try new things. So, yeah, definitely. It's good that we're all, things are moving on, as it were.
And so from what you've got so far, from the songs you've been working around, what are they sounding like? I imagine that this is going to be quite an ambitious record.
There's a lot. There's kind of like a real electronic sheen to it. We've been, I don't know, I've watching a lot of it. To me, sounds like it could soundtrack Blade Runner. And we've been listening to the Terminator theme quite a lot as well. We keep referencing that. But at the moment we're just trying as many different things as we can. In one of the demo sessions, we had a choir of children come along and sing at the end of one of these songs, and then like that Talk song, Happiness is Easy, is that song? Yeah. And another day, Russell's girlfriend who plays violin with Ra Ra Riot came down and played violin on a couple of songs, and we're just at that stage where we just want to keep writing as many different things as we can, and then we'll see how the record ends up later, You
see, already I'm thinking David Holmes should be producing this record.
Well, yeah, we'll put him on the pile. Yeah, we've got a pile of people that we're thinking about, but we just want to make sure we got the songs right, before we decide on producers. Because, I wouldn't change the last record, anything about it, but I think we had to make the second record the way we did, but now we can afford to take a bit of time and make sure this is the the best of our records so far.
And does getting you can answer this as honestly as you want, but does getting a bit of success and building up to a certain level, does that make you more hungry for the next level? Does that give you that appetite? Because you've obviously seen and hung around with a lot of bands who, and you've moved your way up the sort of hierarchy within festivals and everything.
We're taking a couple of steps up the ladder. It's odd. I mean, you definitely don't want to go backwards, and we didn't start a band to make money really, or to make a living is nice, and to be successful is great, but you do it to make the music. But as cheesy as that sounds, but it is fun and very satisfying. Playing to a room full of people, and the bigger that room is, and in some ways, the more satisfying it can be. I mean, it brings its own set of worries and problems as well, but. I don't know, but right now we're just kind of proud that we're, making our third record. That's a big thing, and building on what we've achieved. And you look at bands that I don't know, that don't run out of ideas, keep making records that their audiences continue to get. And bands like Muse or now Kings of Leon, come back with a third or fourth record. Just if you stick around a while, suddenly you look down and you realise you're a bit further up than you thought you might get to, I guess.
Yeah. And in terms of things that you want to write about, are you finding that, having been away for a little while, there's untapped new subjects or angles around certain subjects that you want to write about, that you're finding things within yourself to write about? Are you writing outwards or inwards? I don't know. It's a tricky one, this.
Yeah,
once you get to the third album, isn't it? Do you write about other people, or do you write about yourself again?
It's hard, yeah. I mean, I've tried not to put it in boxes really, but there's one song very much inspired by the Cormac McCarthy book, The Road, which is a way of writing lyrics which is new for me. I don't know. A lot of them other lyrics kind of just come from I guess my head and things like that, and God seems to be popping up in quite a few songs. I'm not a believer in God, but thinking about him and what he represents seems to keep coming out through some of these moments. Maybe it's, I don't know. Obviously, I'm a dad now, and I'm not writing directly about that, but it changes the way you think about things, doesn't it? So. We'll see, we'll see.
See, it's also a sign you're getting slightly older. You start thinking about your own mortality.
Well, quite, yeah.
How old are you, Tom, if you don't mind me asking?
How old am I? I'm 27, I think, yeah.
You see, because you're just after 30. The late, great John Peel once told me that he thought more about his own death in his 30s than he did at any other time, and I don't know why. It's really strange. I suppose he was starting a family as well at the same time. Maybe that's it. So, what do we think then? So, recording, maybe, get together, record something February. So, are you aiming to get an album out next year?
Yeah, definitely. No, what we're going to do, a big batch of demoing again early next year, and then I think assess what we've got, and I reckon we'll be in the studio properly pulling it together to make an album. I don't know, March, maybe April, September time for the record, I think.
Right.
After the summer.
Okay, all right, but maybe stepping out to some of the festivals.
I'm sure we'll be doing something over the summer. Yeah, I hope so.
And just one final question: your favourite, given in the absence of your own band, your favourite record of 2008. Anything particular which struck you as being an album which you loved?
I really liked Fleet Foxes and Las Vegas. I like both of those too. I'm really enjoying the Kanye record at the moment, actually. That's very new, I know, but probably Fleet Foxes.
That Fleet Foxes really is, yeah, it's an interesting record. I didn't get it at all myself first time I heard it. Took a while. Well, listen, we'll be lovely to have you back next year, and as soon as you got something down, come by and say hi, won't you?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Nice work. Well, in the meantime, have a wonderful Christmas,
and you
and the new family, and we'll see you next year.
Thanks, dude.
Take care.
Bye.
Edison's on 6.